Thanks for coming.
Said I was evil, what did you think that meant? It didn't mean that I was naughty, or haughty, or slightly irreverent. When I said I was evil, what did you think that implied? That I'm careless with the truth? How uncouth. Dear God, did you think I lied? When someone says they're evil, it's best to believe, like the skull on the poison vial you see. A symbol so primeval, it's not there to deceive. It's there to let you know it's deadly, just like me. When you're truly evil, it's so much fun. It's kind of like a game where some get maimed while you look out for number one. When you're truly evil, you don't care what people think. They might as well be drenched in stench. Cause zip, zip, zap, 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 zap. Well, that didn't take long. Cause most opinions think a hyena tears the flesh of another living being. He does not repent, no lament. It's the way it was meant to be. And a lioness defends with the deadliest of means. She might do it for the thrill of the kill, or whatever fulfills her needs. Nowadays, everyone's a villain, so it seems. And they strut around the town wearing black and the cult misunderstood, when in fact they're merely good. They're twiddling credentials that they lack, and unlike me, they've got no scars upon their backs. You see, I was born in the full moon's light. When I emerged, it made the angels cry. With a heart that's black as stone, and when I was fully grown, all I was betrothed to the night. And in time, I'll make that girl in black my bride. That's why you can trust in me, just in me, cause I've got friends on the other side. You poor unfortunate souls, your diamonds in the rough. And now, with your permission, I'm going to do my stuff. No one can deny, and when I do, I am the best. When this hellfire, this dark fire I spill, as a specimen, why, it's intimidating, yes. If this don't scare you, no evil thing will. So let's sound the drums of war, it's like music in the air. It's time to follow me, so be prepared. Oh, c'est la vie, mon ami, black sorcery's my dish of tea. You've got to let it go, my power flurries through the air. Eureka! I am the villain king! Bats and darkest caves, and the skeletons in their graves. The creatures of the night will know my name. Oh, the tributes and the praise, the obeisance they'll pay. At last I will have the fame I crave, and as the king of villains I will reign. Now that you know that I'm evil, what will you do? Well, if you're also evil, you little weevil, you'll do what is right for you. Now that you know that I'm evil, would you turn get stitches, 'cause stitching is a sin. The night is full of villains, and the villains need a king. But to get ahead, you need an edge, and I've got just the thing with an army of shadows, and the night as my bride. As the king of villains, I will rise. As the king of villains, I will rise. The king of villains will rise tonight.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Welcome to the Monsters Holiday Tour. You're probably wondering why this is called the Monsters Holiday Tour. Me too. Well, I guess there's a story behind it. You see, this was actually going to be the first year in my 30-year musical career where I was not going to play any live shows. Oh. It's true. Because, I dare, sir, I dare. I dare to be different. So here's the story. God, how do I tell this story? From the end. Start from the end. So after many, many, many years of dreaming of doing it, finally just directed my first feature-length horror film. It is called The Demonatrix. It tells the story of a priest who comes to the aid of his very good friend and neighbor, a dominatrix, when she accidentally summons an incubus demon. And no, this is not Velocipaster 2. This is totally different. Somehow, this film is not a comedy, and it is also not a porno. And I know this for a fact because it is a comedy porno. No, it isn't. It's actually a serious horror film. It just has a very, very weird premise. And I play the priest in this story. So here's the thing, when I started making this, making a movie is like the hardest thing in the entire world to do, and amongst one of the most expensive things to do. So after a while I was like, I'm just not doing anything until I finish this film. So last November, when my tour ended, the Halloween Forever tour, last November I went to Mexico to finish this movie. And I sat there for 4 months with a great editor, and we edited it, and there's still, like, every time I think I'm done, there's like a million other things to do. So we're now writing the score, we're now doing the sound design, we're now doing the visual effects, but there's like a little gap between now and when the film is finished, and like I have more stuff to do. So I was like, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna play some shows. Now, I'm an idiot and a psychopath and a workaholic because I should be doing absolutely nothing but working on the Demonatrix. But I've already started writing a new record. And it's a Summerween album. It's a Summerween album. I have a book called Gothic Life. You'll see it sitting on my merch booth. And you know, of course, it has like a big Halloween section, like how to decorate for Halloween, how to make cocktails for Halloween, how to make recipes for Halloween. But there's also a creepy Christmas section, and there's a Summerween section. And of course, I show people, you know, how to carve a melon into a jack-o'-lantern, and how to make my famous Summerween salad, and how to turn lawn flamingos into vampire vultures, and but here's the thing, and here we're finally getting to a point here. The publisher asked me to plan a Summerween party. I live in New York City in an apartment that is
10 by 10.
a quarter the size of this stage. I do not have parties, and I don't have a backyard, so I've never planned a Summerween party. And so here I am planning this party in my little imagination. And when it came time to what kind of music I would play at the Summerween party, I thought, like, am I gonna just put on the usual, like, top 40 Gothic playlist I play all the time? And I thought, no, I should find summery monster songs. And I went down a rabbit hole. So Of course, I started with all the surf stuff, you know, like the Munsters theme, and then, you know, with those straight jackets and Satan's Pilgrims and ghastly ones, like all these spooky surf bands. But then I discovered monster-themed reggae songs and monster-themed ska songs, and I was like, fuck it, I'm making a record. So I created this playlist, which you've been hearing tonight. It's called Aurelio Voltaire's Ultimate Summerween Playlist. Forgot to take my songs out of it, though, which is... I did have an idea while I was standing here, though. I was like, I should just fucking play my records and just sit at the booth. And... Anyway, so the point of the story is that I created this playlist, and I got so into this Summerween playlist that I started working on this record. So I've come out here, I've come back from Mexico after 4 months. Keep in mind, I left in November. I got back in March, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, I need a vacation from the vacation. So without further ado, I'm going to play you one of the first songs that I recorded for this record. I recorded this with an incredible, but one of my favorite surf bands, a band called Los Straitjackets. They are not here tonight, but I'm going to do my very best to play this by myself. This is A Monster's Holiday. Frankenstein had just arrived, and for a ghoul not quite alive, he made a great sandcastle with his dead man's hands. Then a sandworm caught his eye, and when the fellow went sliding by, the house of Usher sunk into the sand. Ain't it great that even monsters get a day that puts a jagged smile on every face, and they're having a scream, 'cause it's always Halloween on a monster's holiday. Bride of Frankenstein was there, and with the lightning from her hair, powered up the DJ booth and tiki light. I'll drink after the song. Powered up the DJ booth and tiki. Son of a bitch. The fucked up thing is, you guys don't know this song. I could literally just tell you this is how it goes.
We love it!
I'll drink it there. I like it even better when I sing it correctly. Where was I? The bride of Frankenstein was there, and with the lightning from her hair, powered up the DJ booth and tiki lights. Then the mummy spun a tune as the phantom played a fugue. Grinning ghosts came out to socialize. Creature from the Black Lagoon was surfing underneath the moon. Wolfie howled, you better catch a wave real soon. Godzilla waved his tail, and then they all began to wail. They were blown away by the tsunami monsoon. Scaring is great, but even monsters need a break. We all need a spooky getaway. And we're having a scream, 'cause that day is Halloween on a monster's holiday. From the trees came jungle drums that awakened mighty Kong. He and a white zombie did the monster mash, followed by Dr. Moreau with a
break. We all need a spooky getaway and letting off steam, 'cause every day is Halloween on a monster's holiday. On a monster's holiday. On a monster's
Yeah, so Mexico is a great place to spend 4 months working on a horror movie. I don't know if you've ever been to Mexico City, but the way I always explain to you, I don't know if you know much about Mexican culture, but they already are like completely in love with the concept of death. And I always tell people, and this is true, I'm not exaggerating, when you go to Mexico City, you will see more skulls than Mexican flags. And you're gonna see a shit ton of Mexican flags. My very first time going to Mexico City, maybe about 6 years ago, it wasn't my first time, but I had not gone for a long time. And I was going to Mexico City to play a show at a place called Salon Calavera, like Skull Salon, right? And I get to the airport, and in immigration, when you arrive in Mexico City, there's a mural of a ofrenda, right? So you know about Day of the Dead, right? Dia de los Muertos.
Yeah.
Well, an ofrenda is like a table where they'll put like fruits and vegetables and photos of the deceased to remember them. And there is one skull on this table, in this painting, and it has a name written on its forehead, and it says Aurelio. I was like, I don't know whether like, do I hug you or do I go, really, for real, man, seriously? Like, my fucking name was on this skull. So I always tell people, if you drive around New York City for half an hour, you will see maybe one person dressed in black with funny colored hair. And if you drive around London in a cab for about half an hour, you'll see like 6 people dressed all in black with funny colored hair. If you drive around Mexico City for half an hour, you'll see about 50 people wearing all black with funny colored hair. And they'll wear like Bauhaus t-shirts, Susie and the Banshee t-shirts. And these people are everything from 13 to 80. No exaggeration.
Oh, yeah.
So this was like the last 4 months of my life. And then I came back here and I was just like, oh God. And we live in a world where there's a lot of hatred and a lot of fighting now, but I don't believe in getting into that. I'm not doing it. Instead, I'd rather be in a room with people where we can find one thing we agree on and celebrate that. So tonight, we're going to celebrate our love of the macabre. We're going to celebrate our love of monsters. Is it okay if I take you guys with me on a monster-themed pleasure cruise? Buckle up, because it's going to get rough out there. There's a hurricane ahead. Well, I was on a cruise ship out at sea. My fiancé and me, the ship went down. Everybody drowned. And I was just glad the sea didn't swallow me. Well, I was in distress, because my hair was such a mess. And so I washed up on a beach. 9 hungry eyes were staring down at me. I'm in the middle of a Cannibal Buffet. I'm feeling rare. They like me that way. So if you really want to know what's eating me, it's the man-eaters on the coast of Barbary. Now y'all know that I am a father. I have a Gothic show, right, called Gothic Homemaking. And I am literally a dad. I am literally a goth dad. There are others. I am literally a goth dad. So, and especially because of the monster connection, you know those puns are just always fucking flying at my house. It's nothing but dad jokes. And if you don't like dad jokes, I would ask you to maybe step out into the parking lot for the next 30 seconds. Oh, trouble was afoot, they were eating mine. Toe in the park. Thank you, good Lord, for this wiener we're about to eat. And these sweet buns we're gonna stick it in. And then we eat your face! I'm in the middle of a cannibal buffet. I'm feeling well. They like me that way. So if you really want to know what's eating me, it's the man-eaters on the coast of Barbary. It's the man-eaters on the coast of Barbary. It's the man-eaters on the coast of Barbary. Not my baby. There was one delicacy, my favorite organ, my favorite human organ to eat. That was not at that buffet. It was shocking. I was kind of bummed. I was like, oh my God, how can they not have insert name of my favorite organ here? Sir, you offend me, sir. You are incorrect, sir. You are incorrect. My favorite organ is vastly more cerebral than the gutter that your brain lives in. And it's an organ I sang about in a show on Cartoon Network called The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. It's like my favorite organ, brains. Oh, I don't know what you were thinking. Oh, it's a fucking children's show. Step right up, I'm a reasonable guy. Don't be frightened by the look in my eye. Just a rapper's evil meteor from out of the sky. Well, I'm just shy and scared of this place. A fish out of water from outer space. You can see that the trip is left me tied and drained. So why don't you be a pal and bring me some parade? Or vaginas, I don't know. Let's make this song slightly more interesting. When I say brains, you say no, you will say brains. Do not say vaginas. All in favor say aye. All in favor say brains. This job gets harder every year. Here we go. Go down to your neighbor's place. See the dull expression on his face. You've been doing him a favor and it brought to me. He ain't using his brain, he's just watching TV. Probably Cartoon Network. Go down to Mr. McGee's. He hasn't had a thought since 43. His brain is the portrait of atrophy. He ain't using it, why not give it to me? Brains. I won't lie. I'll eat the brains till it's on the fly. Should they might think it's the brains, but they don't give it a thought to reveal their brains. Brains. It's okay. It's not a matter if it isn't gray. And if at first they think it's strange, they won't think twice if they don't have a brain. Brains.
Brains! Vagina.
Brains.
Vagina.
Brains. Drunk with power. If I keep fucking with these lyrics, I'm just gonna be drunk when I leave here. Brains. I need them. My tummy jumps for joy when I eat them. Big ones, fat ones, short ones, tall ones. So delectable, especially the small ones. No time to cook them in a skillet. Trouble in, I gotta need to fill it. Don't fry them with the heat of the shrink them. I just grab myself a straw and I drink them. Whoa. was singing about vaginas? Prostates. It's swell to go around. Rectums, I don't mind. Cut sick up my behind. Not how it goes. It's swell to go around. And bring me. I'm so sorry, Joshua. I'm so sorry. This is not the level of entertainment you came to experience here this evening. Such a decent young man. It's swell to go around. Bring me every single brain in town. But with all these brains, I can't help but think that there isn't one left out there to drain. That's a boy. Come on, hey. Here's someone that you're trying to protect. Bring it down here to meet her, and then I promise I'll be your bestest friend. Brains. I won't lie. I'll ain't her brain till she's on the fly. Sure, she might think it's the rain. She won't give it a thought till I've eaten her brains. It's okay. It's not a matter if it isn't prey. And if at first she thinks it's strange, she won't think twice and she'll never pray. Hooray. Bring me your beret. Bring me your beret. Bring me your Yeah, this next one's not going to help my reputation. I was alone and I needed a date. I was taking a walk past the cemetery gate when I saw a sign that said for a good time. Take a left down the tombstone number 8. Went through the gateway and I'm pretty sure I saw some eyes peeking out of a sepulcher. I took a step into the tomb of repute. That's where I met her, the zombie prostitute. Da, 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 da. I grabbed her left breast and I'm pretty sure I tore it. I said go down, but she didn't have the stomach for it. Her teeth fell out and her tongue fell out to boo. But all in all, she was a rotten kind of cute. Well, I was tense, it was plain to see. A sort of rigor mortis was coming over me. I didn't want to see it, but I just had to believe it. Yup, I had a stiffy for the stiff in front of me. Well, now I'm falling apart from my head down to my toes. I don't know which of my organ system needs to go. I've been such a sleaze since she gave me the disease. Wouldn't you know now I'm a zombie gigolo? I took my first client on a date. We took a walk to the cemetery gate. I got under her sweat, but then I heard a rip. I pulled it out and I said, you guys were watching? Gross. And a little bit hot. Orally, I'm destitute in the tomb of a repute. She's a rotten kind of cute for a zombie prostitute. I'm gonna try not to. So, you know, while doing my research into like Summerween music, I of course encountered quite a lot of monster-themed ska, and I love ska.
Yes.
I do. I really love ska. I'm actually on my Halloween Forever EP. I have a song called "The Last Halloween Party," which is a straight-up ska song. But anyway, let me tell the story slightly different. I.e., with a drink in my hand, very close to my mouth.
Cheers.
So, long before I discovered the goth scene. I don't mean discovered like Christopher Columbus, like, I now deem thee goths. No, I mean like, when I first stumbled into New York City at 17 years old and I discovered that there was this thing called the goth scene. Long before that, I was already part of a subculture without really even realizing it. Because if you were growing up in the 60s and 70s, mostly 70s like I was as a child, there was a phenomenon called monster kids. And monster kids, most of you are not old enough to know about monster kids. That's just a fact. Except maybe you, sir. Because he's my age. 100. Oye, cálmate, cálmate, cálmate.
Ya tú sabes.
Oh my God, I thought Miami was that way. The Coviches have arrived. Anyway, where the fuck was I going with this? Yes, so in the 50s and 60s and then into the 70s, there was of course no internet, and what we played as children was cops and robbers and cowboys and Indians, or sports. And if you weren't into any of those things, chances are you were a weirdo outcast like I was, and chances are you loved monsters. And the Universal Monsters was like this thing that us weird kids were into, and we'd watch the Addams Family, we'd watch the Munsters, we'd want to be a member of those families. D&D. That's a little later, but okay. Someone just got a nerd point, but just fucking rolled a 20. Anyway, so for balls. Interrupting monologue. I roll a 20. It's a hit. Anyway, would you like to check your hit points before or after I slap you? Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Where's my little sack? Where am I going with this fucking story? So anyway, so I was a monster kid. I was a monster kid, and you might not believe this, but just like in the goth scene, where it's a love of dark aesthetic and also this musical contingent part, you know, this whole music part is very important, maybe more important than the aesthetic part. The Monster Kid thing also had a musical component because we listen to surf music. And anyone here tonight who doesn't think they know what surf music is, you do, because you've all heard down, I'm not going to keep doing this, but I should, but I'm not going to. So you all know the Monsters theme. That is a surf song. So rockabilly, surf, these kinds of music were a bit attached to the horror Monster Kid thing. But here's where I'm going with this. The very first time I ever heard monsters and music put together was, of course, in the single most famous song about monsters, and that would be correct, the Monster Mash. So when I was making this record, when I started writing this record, I was like, oh, you know, I really should do a cover of the Monster Mash, but I really don't want to cover the Monster Mash. I don't want to do a parody of the Monster Mash. So I decided instead to write a song inspired by the Monster Mash, and it's a ska song, but instead of singing about the classic Universal Monsters, which I cover on, oh, I don't know, all the other fucking songs, I decided that I would sing about those summer slashers. The Jasons and the Mike Myers and the Freddys and the Chukis, as we call them in Mexico, straight up. Chucky in Mexico is Chucky. Fucking love it. Anyway, him and my cousin Chewy are gonna come work on my truck. Chucky and Chewy. So, in any case, I have written this song. It is called They Did the Slash. And I am gonna need your help on this song. Because the chorus goes, they did the slash, uh-oh, they did the monster slash, they did the slash, uh-oh. And I realized after a while that I had ripped off Queen. And I don't know if you know their song Flash Gordon. But it goes, sing it for me, Flash. Exactly. And that is exactly how this fucking song goes. Except instead of it's more like uh-oh. So do you think you can sing the chorus of a song you've never heard before? Let's give it a shot.
Game on! Hell yeah!
Don't roll one.
I just hope I remember the lyrics.
It was summertime, I was feeling great. I took a dip in a crystal lake when I felt something beneath the waves. A drowning boy, nobody saved. There was another kid on Halloween. When he was done with the trick or treat, he killed his sister with a kitchen knife. And now they slay for life. They did the slash. They did the murder slash. They did the slash. They made a bloody splash. Last night I had a crazy dream. Ghostface made me scream, cause he and Chucky hatched a plan. And Freddy Krueger left a hand. They found a miner from deep in a mine and sent Candyman 5 times. Even the creeper came to take a look. But by then I was hooked. They did the slash. They did the murder slash. They did the slash. They made a bloody splash. They did the slash. They did the murder slash. They did the slash. It was a graveyard smash. Doing the slash is the way to go. Who'll be the last girl no one knows?
Oh my god, Scott's so fucking hard.
Some pervert's got your number. He calls the party where you slumber. It's always such a bummer when everyone knows what you did last summer. Everyone knows what you did. Doing the slash is the way to go. Who'll be the last girl no one knows? These days it's so absurd. Said a psycho, mark my words. I used a knife back then, but now I've heard there's been a Texas chainsaw massacre. Cropsy said, "You're no liar. These kids are playing with fire." 'Cause Art the Clown is always down to find new ways to terrify her. He's always down to clown. They did the slash. They did the murder slash. The slash. They made a bloody splash. They did the slash. They did the murder slash. They did the slash. It was a graveyard smash.
Wow, you did it! You sang the chorus to a song you've never heard before.
I'll do it again.
Which goes to show that sometimes plagiarism pays off. Let's get serious. Thank you. It's not the first time I've heard that today. The Minotaur's my butler. The Cyclops, my valet. It's from a fucking cartoon.
Cerberus, my lapdog, is loyal as can be. My bed is made of skulls, I'm in the lap of luxury. I got a dragon's blood jacuzzi, the gorgons think it's cool. And seven-headed hydra living in my swimming pool. In the land of the dead, hey boy, ain't it grand? I'm overlord of the underworld, as I hold horror's hand. In the land of the dead, I'm dark side royalty. I'm far renowned in the underground, and you can't take that away from me. Oh, you can't take that from me.
Those of you who have been following me for longer than is reasonable, you know who you are. You know who you are. You may remember a live album that I released when I weighed like 80 pounds. I was like, I was looking at pictures of myself from that era, and I want to say it was like maybe the late 90s or something, but I looked like every kid's first drawing. What happened? Yummy food happened. In any case, and now, and it's funny, because back then I was such a twink, and now I get a lot of emails from other fellows who have an appreciation for the larger, older men, apparently. I'm a bear now. I'm a bear daddy. You know, this is the problem with, becoming a furry. You start out as a furry, you end up as a daddy bear. In any case, where was I going with this dumb story? Oh yeah, so a million years ago when I made that live record, some of the things that I say on stage, unfortunately, were captured and released on that record. And one of them was a true story, which I want to share with you because Easter's right around the corner. And I haven't told this story in like 20-something years, so maybe some of you don't know it. So this is a true story. When my son was about 6 years old, this story needs a drink.
Chug it.
When my Daytona Beach is that way. We don't chug here. We drink like civilized alcoholics.
Fair enough.
So when my son was about 6 years old, he was taking karate. And I went to go pick him up at the dojo, and because I wake up at the crack of 4 p.m. I was the afternoon parent. So his mom would drop him off at school really early in the morning when I was like just crawling into the coffin. And then I'd get up at 3 p.m. or something. I'd go pick him up from school, take him to karate. So I was like the soccer mom. And it was really me and a whole bunch of moms. It really was. It was like I was the only dude ever around. And I'd be there with my big skull sweater and my spiky black hair on my rollerblades. True story. I did not wear shoes for 10 years. I went everywhere in rollerblades. And I can't believe I'm deviating from the story already, but around that same time when my son was like 6 years old, he was like, "Papa, I want to go to skate camp." And I was like, "Awesome, I'm gonna get you some rollerblades." And I went and I got him these tiny rollerblades and I took him to skate camp and I dropped him off. And I picked him up. I was like, "Was it fun? Was it cool?" And he was like crying. I said, "What's the matter?" He goes, "All the other kids have skateboards. And they told me I was a fruit booter." And I was like, "Well, we'll see about that tomorrow when I show up looking like a gothic fucking clown on roller skates. They'll learn their lesson." Anyway, so he was also in karate, and I took him to his karate class. And we're sitting there, and one of the moms said something about Easter. She's like, "So, what are you guys doing for Easter?" And my son looked at me and says, "Papa, what's Easter?" And all the moms looked at us like we were fucking Satanists, like, how do they not know what Easter is? And I was like, I really was on the spot. And I looked at my son and I was like, Easter is a religious holiday observed and celebrated by Christians. Many, many, many years ago, about 2,000 years ago, to be exact, there was a man named Jesus Christ, and he was a very good man, and he had really great ideas. And people stabbed him, and they beat him. They treated him very, very, very poorly. And then they nailed him to a cross until he died. And he's just like, holy shit. Why don't you just tell me the fucking synopsis of Hellraiser while you're at it? And then he died on this cross. It was very sad. And they put him they put his dead body inside of a cave, and they covered it with a rock. And like 3 days later, the rock had been moved, and Jesus was alive. And this is the miracle of Easter. And my son looked at me and goes, Jesus is a zombie? Kind of, no. So anyway, so it's really weird because obviously with the Gothic homemaking show, with my Gothic life book, and with my silly, monster songs, Halloween is something that is like omnipresent. It's just always a part of my life. But Easter has strangely crept in that weird way. And 12 years ago, I dressed up as like a Gothic bunny, and I sang a song that I wrote on the YouTubes. The song was called the Bunnypocalypse. And since Easter is just close enough to Halloween, I decided to finally record that song, and it will be on the Summerween album. And like most of the songs on the record, it is a collaboration. So while Monsters Holiday is recorded by Los Straitjackets, Bunnypocalypse is recorded by another one of my favorite spooky surf bands, a group of fellows called Satan's Pilgrims. Yeah, so when Bunnypocalypse comes out and they're like, this is a war against Christianity. I'm like, no, it's not. It's just a song I recorded with Satan. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I guess you got me. So without further ado, I'd like to play you Bunnypocalypse. Are you guys feeling like Easter? Very important piece of information I need to share with you first. In this song, I mention a fellow named Bruce Campbell. And because I'm doing these collaborations with these bands that I'm fans of, I got a little big for my britches. And I was like, why don't I reach out to Bruce Campbell and ask him if he'll sing the line that he says in the song? Like I spoke to Bruce Campbell and he said this, that, and the other thing. Well, how cool would it be if it was actually him? So I wrote to him, and he wrote back immediately. And he wrote, "Kind sir, thank you very much for your interest in having me on the record. Unfortunately, this is not something that I can find the time to do right now." Keep in mind, I offered him money and plenty of it, but he just didn't think it was something that he had time to do. And I was like, my stupid little fucked up made up song about a zombie bunny apocalypse on Easter just got made kind of true by Bruce Campbell telling me to go fuck myself. Because that's pretty much what it says in the song. So from now on, when I play the Bunnypocalypse, I'm going to say that this is based on a true story. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bunnypocalypse. Long enough.
time, we're taking it back today.
No, that's how it fucking goes. I called old Chuck Norris and the Boondock Saints. I called the Pope in Rome. They all told me to wait. I called Bruce Campbell, or maybe I emailed him. Got him on the phone. He said, keep your chin up, boy, because now you're on your own. Literally. Fucking literally. Black cat crossed the path and said I had nothing to fear. Hey, cat, you don't know Jack, because the Armageddon's here. Tap, tap, a double tap to send them back to their crypts. Keep a gun at your hips and a prayer on your lips for the Bunnypocalypse. Keep a gun at your hips and a prayer on your lips for the Bunnypocalypse. When back in the day, when I was a child and I got picked on a lot and bullied a lot and beat up a lot, and monsters were really the thing that made me excited about life. Just seeing King Kong on television, running home to catch the 4:30 movie and seeing Dracula and Frankenstein, Dracula versus Frankenstein, and Frankenstein versus Dracula, and both of them versus the werewolf, and that whole thing, it's the whole universal thing that spun wildly out of fucking control by the end. I loved all of that stuff. On that 4:30 movie, I met King Kong, I met Dracula, I met Godzilla, Gamera, Ghidra, Mechagodzilla, Megalon. I thought Ramekin was a monster, and then I realized it's a little thing that would catch up in TGI Friday. It's like Godzilla versus Ramekin.
I watched that.
But honestly, something so silly, something so trivial as monsters, something completely made up, made a little child want to stay alive during a very, very, very bleak and terrible period. I picked up a Super 8 camera. I started making Super 8 films when I was about 10 years old. And by the time I was 17, I had made a whole lot of stop motion films. I ran away from home, went to New York City, and immediately got a job as a stop motion animator.
Woo!
So I always thought that I was going to, grow up to make monster movies. And somehow I ended up being a gothic clown. I don't know how that So I finally come to that period, where I have finally done that, and I can't wait for you all to see the Demonatrix.
Yes.
I don't think it will be the best film ever made, and I don't even think it will be the best film of 2026.
It will.
But I think they'll be showing this shit at midnight 10 years from now. It is. And people will be dressing up. Let me say this. To have this dream for over 40 years, right? I'm 58 now, so for a minimum of 40 to 50 years. Thanks.
Yeah, you don't look it.
I drink the blood of virgins. Yes, there's no virgins here today. Oh, sorry guys. Jesus, I keep forgetting. All ages, all ages. All ages. I keep thinking I'm in Las Vegas at 4 in the morning. I apologize. Anyway, stop getting me in trouble. What was I saying? Imagine you wait 40 to 50 years to live that dream, and then the first time you do it, you're directing Doug Bradley, Pinhead from Hellraiser. He's in our film. He's in our film, and we have a couple of really long scenes together. Our lead actress is Hannah Fierman, who played the succubus in the very first VHS movie. Larry Fessenden, who's a really great horror director. He made Wendigo, Blackout, The Last Winter. He made a million movies. He's also an actor. He's been in a bunch of Scorsese films. He's in our film. Our monster, our demon, is played by Gothic legend, skinny puppy frontman, Nivik Oker.
Nice.
And if you don't know about goth industrial music, you may know Ogre as Pavi from Repo the Generic Opera. Our demon suit was made by the team that made Hellboy for Guillermo del Toro. It's a very, very, very humble film, but it has just enough cool stuff in it that I hope that you'll be excited to see it. So I would like to dedicate this next song to monsters everywhere. Monsters have been saving my life since as far back as I can remember. And this song in particular I'm going to dedicate to a young lady who's part of a family that I always wanted to be a member of, a family called the Addams Family. This song is called It's Always Wednesday. All alone on a gray and gloomy day, on her own, in the graveyard down the way, she's practicing her cello, and the reeds begin to sway between the graves. Can they hear? Buried 6 feet underground, entombed for years. As the crypts fill up with sound, she's speaking through her instrument, the words she'd love to say that she won't say. And the angels sigh as the clouds begin to cry. It's always Wednesday, like the cold and pretty fall. It's always Wednesday, at the center of it all. We'd love to touch her heart, but she might tear your world apart, because it's Wednesday after all. Then there's school. While she doesn't quite fit in, she's no one's fool. Teasing her loved ones is a sin. She'll watch the bullies fall. Meanwhile, she's having a ball. I guess our little girl's an Addams after all. And the angels sigh as the clouds begin to cry. It's always Wednesday. I don't know if you noticed, but I am going to wait longer and longer until everyone knows the chorus. It's always Wednesday, like the cold and pretty fall. It's always Wednesday, at the center of it all. Love to touch her heart, but she might tear your world apart, because it's Wednesday after all. Because it's Wednesday after all. Thursday, she's intent to cause an accident. Friday, she'll invent or do an experiment. Saturday, break the neck of little Marie Antoinette. Sunday, she's content, she don't need the internet. I don't care if Monday's blue, it's Wednesday, I'm in love. Now you've heard as the music swirls around like pretty words she would never say aloud. My brother's pigtail protege, my little stormy cloud. Yes, let it out. And the angels sigh as the clouds begin to cry. It's always Wednesday, like the cold and pretty fall. It's always Wednesday, my sweet melancholy doll. You love to touch her heart, but she might tear your world apart, because it's Wednesday after all. Because
the skeleton dance. What are we? We are not serious. Do the skeleton dance.
We have 2 more times to make that great. That was damn good. Damn good. And I think we can achieve greatness tonight. That's my fault. This song came out last year, and I know full well as a grown-ass man that I needed to put a pumpkin on my fucking head, put on like a black unitard, and do the goddamn dance on TikTok. I knew it then. I was like, Voltaire, humiliate yourself. Put on the unitard. I just love saying that word. Put on the goddamn pumpkin head. Get on the ticker-talkers. Do the goddamn dance. It'll go viral, or your career will be over. But either way, it'll be fucking cool. And I didn't do it because I was like, no, it's dumb. I'm not going to do it. And now no one knows how to do the goddamn skeleton dance. Now, on the bright side...
Teach us!
On the bright side, the instructions teach you. This is what it's come to. Which you ghouls gonna take a chance? You! Do the skeleton dance!
Yeah.
Jump into the middle there, undead Elvis.
Okay.
Shake that, snake that spine, and shake that pelvis. Grab a bat, dig your grave and tip your hat. Now throw your hands up throw your hands above your head.
Okay.
Be the king of pop when you raise the dead. Zombie to the left, zombie to the right. Fill their dreams to the brim with fright. Now stomp around like Frankenstein to the music of the night. You rolled the bones and you took a chance, and now you've done the skeleton dance. Saw it here first. And now I'm just going to do it all again. I'm going to sing it to you. Listen to the lyrics, learn this stupid ass dance, and I'm going to come back on Halloween and check and make sure you learn it. Which of you ghouls going to take a chance? You do the skeleton dance. Jump into the middle there, undead Elvis. Snake that spine, shake that pelvis. Grab a bat. Dig your grave and tip your hat. Now throw your hands above your head. Pop when you raise the dead. Zombie to the left, zombie to the right. Fill their dreams to the brim with fright. Stomp around like Frankenstein to the music of the night. You rolled the bones and you took a chance, and now you've done the skeleton dance. La 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 la. Sing along if you know the words. It's la. La 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 la. So I shouldn't say the new guitar. I had this guitar made on one of my jungle adventures when I was in Indonesia, one of the first times, which would have been like 5 or 6 years ago at this point. I went to this luthier in Bali, Indonesia, and I asked him to make me a raised by bats guitar. You can see the bat there on the end. And I drew all of these bats for them, and then they carved them. You know, and I realized I've never shown anybody the back of this guitar. Literally. It looks like it's all hand carved. And what's that? Yeah, it says raised by bats. And this guitar has like never left the lair of Voltaire because it is very precious. It's one of a kind. It was very expensive. So I've only ever taken it. I would only take it to the studio to record. So I recorded the Black Labyrinth on this guitar. I recorded Last Halloween Party on this guitar. But I would like take it to the studio very preciously, you know, and then I'd bring it back. And I was like, you know, the theme of this tour is such that I really need to bring this guitar with me. So I decided to be brave, because this guitar goes in the cargo hold of the plane. Like, I wave goodbye to it, I check in, I give him the guitar, and whether or not it shows up in Tampa is anyone's guess. Funny story, hilarious in fact, hilarious. The very first show I brought those guitars, so this is only like maybe 4 dates into the tour. So the first show was Portland, and I get out of the airplane, or at the airport in Portland, and I hail a cab, and the cab driver comes, he brings up these big giant suitcases I have of merch, and he starts shoving them in the trunk, and then he goes to put the guitar in the trunk, and I was like, no, that's not gonna fit. He was like, it will fit, it will fit. I was like, it's not gonna fit. And he puts the guitar in the trunk, and he puts his hands on the lid, and he goes to shove down, and I peripherally see those, those two weird like semicircle rods? Yeah, those hinges, I see them coming down, and they make contact with the guitar case, and then he just starts bouncing up and down. And he cracked the guitar. I don't know if you can see it from here. It's got this big ass crack in it. So that was day number 1. It was a good lesson. It was a good lesson about, being precious about things.
Death penalty.
Material possessions, maybe you shouldn't be too precious about them. I'm happy that it's out on tour with me. And I want to tell you really quickly about my relationship with Indonesia. So, as a child, as a monster kid, my very first film that I saw that made me want to be a filmmaker, a stop motion animator, was a film made in 1933 called King Kong. And not only did I completely fall in love with this art form of stop motion, but I also fell in love with the idea. I fell in love with the idea of getting on a container ship and going across the oceans, all of them, till I got to Southeast Asia, where there might be islands where giant gorillas might live and dinosaurs. And Indonesia just kept popping up in my childhood. There was a sideshow act called the Wild Man of Borneo. It's an island in Indonesia. He was probably from Brooklyn, but he had us all fooled that he was a crazy cannibal. One of my favorite pieces of music, the Three-Penny Opera by Bertolt Brecht and Kurt Weill, has a song called Surabaya Johnny. Surabaya is on the island of Java, Indonesia. So, here's the part where the story gets a little sad. 2007, if you followed me on social media, you probably would not have known that anything was wrong. But I was done with being on this planet. For a lot of reasons. One of them was the toxicity of the internet. Okay, and it's gotten worse. But the idea that you couldn't even look at a news story and read the comments without immediately seeing total strangers tearing each other apart for nothing. And sometimes that was me. Sometimes they were tearing me apart for nothing. And I got to a point where I didn't really want to be on this planet anymore, and I thought to myself, I'm also getting to an age where if I don't start to go and see some of these places I've dreamed of seeing, there may not be air in my lungs. I may get to a point where I may never get to see this stuff. So I decided I was going to visit a jungle. And my very first jungle trip, this is a true story, I had 3 near-death experiences in one day. I had never had a near-death experience in my entire life. And that day, I was like, oh shit, this is how it ends. And then I survived that experience, and 15 minutes later, I was like, oh no, this is how it ends. And I'm not messing with you. At one moment in all of this, fucking vultures started flying overhead. And I was like, fuck you guys, I can't believe it. And I somehow survived that experience. And I came back to New York, and I didn't not want to die, but now I had this like long list of ways I knew how I didn't want to die. And that was a start. That was like, I definitely don't want to break my spine falling off a cliff and onto a rock. Like there was like a whole list of shit that I knew I didn't want to. But an incredible thing happened 1 month in the jungle, detached from the internet. I was healed. I came back a completely different person. And now I try to go away, specifically to a jungle somewhere, for at least a month. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. After 11 months of being back here, I kind of need to go back and recharge, because you just end up like that again. But that is what going to Indonesia has been for me. The jungle, everything there wants to kill you. And being there, just being there, makes you realize how bullshit some of the stuff we worry about every single day is. So my advice to you is, if you can get out into nature, you know, the kids say touch grass. If you can get out into nature for a couple days, a weekend, up in the mountains, the beach, a forest, a jungle, wherever, get away from this for a while. Get away from people hating you because you voted for the wrong person, or people, you know, just because you're associated with the wrong group, you're just an irredeemable monster. Get away from that for a weekend, for a week. You will come back healed. I'm going to sing you a song about the jungle. Now that I have this beautiful percussion, the monsoons have arrived. It's
is common sense.
this song because it now has 58 million views on YouTube. Thanks to the incredible animation of Daria Cohen. And this is the one song of mine that I wrote that was beyond my capabilities and I couldn't play. You're not going to believe me. The day I was handed this guitar, I could play that song perfectly. As long as it was on this guitar. Indonesia! Magical place. I mean, it's fucking cursed, I'm sure of it. Still seems very strange to me that her quiet, lonely streets, draped in all their mystery, could be so sweet and comforting. As the night she calls me, she calls me, she calls me, she calls me. This waves in the velvet dress, pulls me towards her in the dark, while the others rest. While the others rest, while the Thank you so much for coming out tonight. Again, please be careful with the internet. Nobody's having a better time than you are. We look at everybody's Instagram accounts, we're like, that person's so much cuter than I am. They can afford better things than what I've got. They're so happy and I'm so fucking miserable. It's all bullshit. It's all nonsense. It's all make-believe. It's easy to make your life look perfect on social media. And all of this strife, all of this hatred that's going around, do what I do. Find one thing with anybody that you meet that you agree on, and just focus on that. Just focus on the one thing you agree on. If it's we like monsters, grab that, embrace that,
Yes.
and have a whole fucking night of songs about monsters. In a room with people who are smiling and are happy and are showing each other love and respect. I, as you already know, had to run away from home to escape a very, very terrible childhood, and I got very lucky because I found my tribe. I went to New York City, I met a group of people there in 1984. They were all black, and they were very, very shy, but they liked the company of others like them, and they were nocturnal, which led me to believe they must all be bats. But I think probably the correct term is goths. And while I love what the goth scene gave me, I have to remind myself that before that was the Monster Kid thing. And the beautiful thing about the Monster Kid thing was that there was no rules. People didn't come up to you and say, name 3 songs by the band shirt you're wearing. I know that's not a band shirt, but you know, there were no rules. It didn't matter what music you liked. It's like you could all just come together for the love of the macabre. So I just want to say thank you very much for being here tonight. If you don't feel like you've found your tribe, look around. This might be it. You'd be hard-pressed to find a more gentle, respectful, and loving group of people than the people that you're surrounded by right this very moment. So I'd like to dedicate this song to finding your tribe. This is called Raised by Bats. In this steeple made of chrome, above a city of steel, I've chosen bats over people, 'cause I never did like the way humans made me feel. So we sleep all day and we rise at night, and we spread our wings and take it to the sky. When people all stop and stare and say, why you gotta be like that? Look them in the eye and tell them I was raised by bats. When I was young, I was feeble, and it stung. When they pushed me down, I was so hated by these people, and I knew I had to do what I could to get out of that town. So I ran away to this sacred place and was taken in by creatures of the night. That's you. When the people all stop and stare and say, why you gotta dress like that? Just look them in the eye and tell them, fuck you, I'm a furry. Got a lot of respect for furries in Florida, that's all I'm saying. And I was raised by bats. When the people all stop and stare and say, why you gotta be like that? I just look them in the eye and tell them I was raised by bats. Those dark days seem far away. I've risen to a better place. So do I follow the dream like that? Just throw your own life away and get raised by bats.
raised by bats. Just look them in the eye and tell them I was raised by bats. I was raised by bats. I was raised by Batman. I'm robbing your wallet.
Thank you so much for coming out tonight. Big round of applause for Josh Berger! And it sounded fucking great tonight because of our sound person, Paul. Turn around and give him a big round of applause. And sadly, it is that part of the night where I'm going to play the last song. And then I'm going to go sit in the corner, come say hello. All those, people come up, they're like, hey, can I take a selfie? I'm like, I do it after the show, otherwise there would never be a show. So we do that now, so please come, have a photo, say hello. And I'm going to leave you with this one last song.
Yeah, we want to like.
Got my first real six string, all in the 5 and dime. Played it till my fingers bled. Was the summer of '69. Me and some guys from school, we had a band and it tried real hard. Should've quit, Jesse got married. Should've known we'd never get far. Waiting on your mama's porch. Some words I don't remember. Those were the best days of my life. This is not. You should be ashamed of how happy you are. That is not. It was a joke. You love that song. Now I feel weird moving on. This is the last song of the night. I've been married a long time ago with Cotton Eye Joe. Where the fuck you gonna do, Cotton Eye Joe? I've been married a long time ago. Again with the dancing. This is what I love about goths. They will dance to anything. And especially you put a little alcohol in them. They'll be like, oh, my favorite goth song is Bela Lugosi's Dead by Bauhaus. But then like fucking Spice Girls come on and they're dancing up a storm. For real now, last song of the night. If I leave here tomorrow, some words that I don't know, 'cause I'm as free as a bird now. Wait a minute, I'm Gothic, so that bird must be a crow. Oh, a black leather and latex wearing crow. That is not the last. What is wrong with you people? This is the last song of the night. Baby shark, baby shark, baby shark, baby shark, mommy shark, mommy shark. You know what? Just fuck you guys, seriously. Can't even do a joke in this place. You know what? Let's just get this over with. Last song of the night. Let it go, let it go. Can't hold it back anymore. Let it go, let it go. Turn away, slam the door.
my shows before. Virgins. Well, shit. Those of you who have never been to one of my shows before, you may not know that this is the part of the show where I hand select a group of people from the audience to come up here and become the Beelzebub Philharmonic Choir. People hand selected to help me sing the chorus of this song. And not everybody can come up here. In order to be in the Beelzebub Philharmonic Choir, you must be able to fulfill one of three requirements. One, you must know all of the lyrics to the chorus of this song. If that's you, raise your hand. Two, you must know most of the lyrics. Or three, you must be dead sexy and be able to fake the lyrics to the chorus of the song. If anybody had their hand up at any time whatsoever, I'm going to invite you to slowly, calmly, without pushing or shoving, find your way onto the stage via only the stairs. Stage right. Correct. Come on up. Don't push, don't shove. There's plenty of room for everybody. They're coming. I feel like Moses leading my people out of bondage. It's really ironic considering how many people look like they're on their way to bondage night. True story, in Glasgow, Scotland, when I did this song, the entire audience got on the stage. The entire audience. And there was no one to sing to. And during one of the pauses in the song where I say, "I do it all for free," in this moment of silence, the only person left was the bartender. He was wiping down the bar, and he looked up and he went, "You cunts." Ladies and gentlemen, the Tampa chapter of the Beelzebub Philharmonic Choir. I'm the fly in your suit, I'm the pebble in your shoe, I'm the bee beneath your bed, I'm a bump on every head, I'm the peel on which you slip, I'm a pin in every hip, I'm the thorn in your side, makes you wriggle and ride. Why? I'm evil. The devil tips his hat to me. I'm evil, I do it all for free. Your tears are all the pain I'll earn. While there's children to make sad, while there's candy to be had, while there's pockets left to pick, while there's grannies left to trip down the stairs, I'll be there. I'll be waiting round the corner. Some game I'm glad I'm in it, 'cause there's one born every minute. Why? I'm evil. The devil tips his hat to me. I'm evil, I do it all for free. Your tears are all the pain I'll ever need. Beelzebub Philharmonic Choir, take it away. Let's hear it for them. For fuck's sake, they just sold their souls to Satan on stage. I'm the fear that keeps you awake. I'm the shadows on the wall. I'm the monsters they become. I'm the nightmare in your skull. I'm the dagger in your Thank you so much for coming out tonight. Good night, everybody. See you next time.